Canada and different places on the call. And I promise you, it's in other parts of the country right now where people are getting this information. It's coming in fast and furious. Roger Ulmer, and what a blessing it is to get a phone call from him. I met this gentleman 14 years ago in a financial services company. I want Roger to come on here. Like I said, he's doing some amazing things. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. I'm talking, I know this guy. I know the energy he brings. I don't know how he's working the hours he is right now, but he's doing it for a lot of us so we can win. Roger, are you on the call?
I am on the call. Thank you, Darren. So there's over 100 people on this call. I want to welcome you guys to one of the first calls of the United Games marketing. And so here's the thing. I want to go over some real basic stuff. If you have some questions, we can answer some of those. But I'm going to tell you something that's one of the most exciting times in my life I've ever had. I'm going to tell you I've been involved in this industry since 1997. I've been involved in it and full time, and I've built some large teams. I also do consulting in this industry across the board. And let me tell you something. A friend of mine gave me a call and said, "Hey, I want you to come take a look at this company. They need your help." I came take a look at it, and when I sat there, they didn't help. They had it all together. And when I looked in this thing, I sat down in this conference room with these people. They had some of the owners, the founders, some programmers, some people, and some marketing people, and the investors. I was blown away from what I want to share with you. Have you ever heard of the PlayStation and the Xbox? I said, yeah. Have you ever heard of a game called the MADDEN football game for the Xbox, the PlayStation? I said, yeah, are you kidding me? My son plays it all the time. And matter of fact, I can't get him off of it. I wake up at 2 in the morning, and I have to go grab his controller from him. He is addicted to this game. He loves this game, and he's playing with it with his friends. They said, well, that's great. I'm glad you realized that because we're going to tell you something that's going to knock your socks off. I said, I'm all ears. And they said, listen, we have been watching how the fantasy sports things have been going on. And I was like, I don't know much about fantasy sports. I'm a sports guy, but I don't know much about fantasy sports. So they proceeded to educate me about fantasy sports. And once I did some research myself, they said, listen, there's just two companies out there, FanDuel and DraftKings. FanDuel and DraftKings, both these companies are large companies doing billions and billions of dollars every year, and what they're doing is they're changing the love of fantasy football, and they're basically listing it. And people, believe it or not, we've done some research that people they're calling it the fantasy football grind, and they're changing the game where people are getting so frustrated that only the guys with supercomputers, the stats, the algorithms are getting all the pots and all winning all the stuff at the top of these fantasy FanDuel and DraftKings, and then the little guys are putting in all the money, and all the guys with supercomputers and all the smart stats and all the stuff that are going on are winning all the money. The truth is the attrition, the people falling off the bottom, is absolutely unbelievable. So I sat with these people in this room, and they said, listen, we want to make a better way to play. We have studied the industry. We've studied what's happening. And then I said, really? And they said, yes, we've studied not only the United States with football and baseball and hockey, but we've also studied abroad and with South Africa and Australia and New Zealand and what the players mean across the board. And they started explaining to me about the players and the marketplace in the players. And I started explaining to me. I said, wow, I never knew what was happening here, right? And they told me, says, listen, in the United States, there is about 98 million football fans, about 68 million baseball fans. I said, yeah, that sounds about right. NFL, they got their own day of the week. Sunday night football. I mean, it's big, right? And, they got baseball. It's huge. And so the thing is, they said, well, let's put that aside because did you know that baseball and football, even though they're great and it's an all-time all-American pastime, that if you look on a global footprint, that baseball and football are almost at the bottom of the scale for fan base and fan loyalty? I said, I didn't know that. And they said, yeah. They said, you know what? Soccer is the global phenomenon, #1 fan base. People are fanatically addicted to soccer globally. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Afghanistan, Iraq, South Africa, in India, New Delhi, different places around the globe. is huge, right? And so what happens is we found out after doing some research that the number one fan base in the world has nobody addressing them and helping them engage with their players, nobody engaging them with the way they want to do it. So these people sat in a boardroom and they had sat down and said, we have a better way to play. I said, wow, well, now you've got my attention. What we're doing is we're creating what's called true player loyalty. If you're a Patriot fan, you're going to love us. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you're going to love us. If you're a New York Yankees fan, you're going to love what we're doing. And what happens is it doesn't matter if you're in soccer, football, cricket, rugby, no matter what, you're going to love this app. And I'm going to tell you why, okay, in a second here. Now, when they started explaining to me all the things of this app and what it was going to do, I started to get really, really excited. I started to get chills down my spine. And I'm going to tell you something, right? I've been in the network marketing industry a long time. I've consulted with a lot of big companies. Some of them you know, right? And so the thing is that I had almost seen everything until I walked in this room. I thought I had seen nothing. Nothing surprised me anymore, right? And so I walked in this room. I was absolutely blown away. Now, here it is. I'm going to start explaining it to you. They said, let's go back to the MADDEN football game for the Xbox and the PlayStation. They said, listen, we wanted to design the greatest app experience of all time. And we know that we only got one shot at this. We know for a fact that we can only do this once. We know that we can only make sure that it's done right. And so guess what? They reached out to the EA Sports guys and they found out who the creative director was with EA Sports that designed and built and maintained all of the EA Sports Madden stuff and brought it to #1 status. And what did they do? They did. They went out and hired him. They said, listen, we're going to hire you and your team to bring them on board. And guess what? That's exactly what they did. So that way we know for a fact we have the EA Sports creative director and the genius behind all of the metrics, all of the data, the player data, the modules, everything that they know, the screen, the colors, the cap, everything they know of all the data on how to make a winning app, not just with football, not just with soccer, with NASCAR, with everything. Because anybody that knows anything about EA Sports, they know that they are the king of sports. And this guy was the creative director, with that company. He is now on board with us. He brought his team with us, and we're lucky to have him on board. I was like, you got my attention more now. So now they started saying, let's talk about the app. Let's talk about what this app's going to do. We're going to make an app that allows you to play and do calls against real-time baseball, real-time football, real-time baseball, and hockey and soccer. What I mean by that is, can you imagine, I want you to think for a second, having an app, you're sitting there having a hot dog with your wife or your kids, you're having a Coke and a hot dog, watching a baseball game in the stands, and you can now make calls whether they're gonna strike out, whether in the next inning, what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a triple hit or base hit. You can make these calls, and guess what? We don't use money. We use tokens. We use tokens, and we have player points. And the thing is that we do this, and we go there and you can interact. Now, if you're sitting in a Dallas Cowboy or a Patriots fan or watching the 49ers play, right, or whatever it may be, you can either watch it at home and you can interact. So you can either play right by yourself with the game or you can invite others. Now, here's the thing. I know a lot of you on this phone are on here and you're excited and you're listening to this because there's a lot of information coming at you fast, right? Now, we sat down with these people. They said, listen, not only do people want to be able to play in real time and make calls, I mean, I'll give you an example of the calls you can make. Let's say the national anthem just got through playing, and you could actually make a call on the coin toss. You can actually say, I think it's going to be heads, I think it's going to be tails, and you can actually apply a token to that, and you'll get some points for winning the actual coin toss and seeing what it is. You'll get some points up on the board for doing that, and we'll explain what the points and stuff happens in a few minutes. But let me explain to you about playing by play and call by call and on football, right? So let's say, it's first down. You're going to make that call on whether they're going to make the field goal or what they're going to do. You get to be the sideline coach all the time. Now, they said, not only would it allow you to play by yourself, we're going to allow you to play with others. I said, what? Explain that to me. He said, yeah, haven't you ever been to a Super Bowl party? I said, yeah. Haven't you ever been to a baseball party or maybe to the park and listened to the game and watched the game or tailgating or whatever it may be? well, we want to take this to the next level. And I said, how so? Because of the relationship that EA Sports has had over the years, and creative director Mark Monge has had with the EA Sports and the other stuff we have, and we're going to be able to get these live feeds from the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, from the FIFA soccer. We're going to get live feeds within 20 to 50 milliseconds driven right into our app. So if you're calling either the field goal or something, by the time the field goal hits there, the point appears on the board. A couple seconds later, boom, it's going to appear on our app in real time, and you're going to know whether you won those points or you lost those points. But no matter what, that game's going to be in real time. You're going to have a good time and be able to play not only by yourself, but you're going to be able to have a party at your home, a party, and you can open it up either private or you can open it public. People around the nation or around the globe can actually participate in your league right there, playing in your home for that Super Bowl, for that championship. And we're going to be able to do that on all levels of sports. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. Right there alone is a game changer. And they're saying, yes, this game, unlike fantasy sports, unlike anything else, you don't have to change your loyalty. You can actually play against real-time sports, play against real-time things. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And they said, yes. Let me explain to you how this is all going to work. I said, yes, explain to me how this is all going to work, because guess what? I'm excited right now just by hearing this information. And I said, well, can you explain to me how we're going to get paid? How is this going to actually mechanically work? And they said, all right, here's how it works. Number one, first off, when somebody downloads the app, now here's the thing. You and I have all downloaded. You've got Angry Birds, you've got Candy Crush, Clash of Clans, all these different things that that people play on their smartphones all the time from the Google Play Store or iTunes. They download the app for free. And I was like, they download the app for free. How are you going to make any money without? Oh, we'll get to that in a second. They said, okay, now we're downloading the app for free. Now what happens is you go in the app, you set up your profile, you pick baseball, football, soccer, hockey, whatever it is you like, right? And the minute you start doing that, right, the colors and everything of the app start to morph and start to make it look more personal to you, that app, right? And what happens is now the profile's done. You've got your stuff. It now knows what it is, what you like, football, baseball, what it is. They know what you like. Now what it does is it says, would you like to play? And then you click, yes, I'd like to play. No problem. Well, you have two choices. If you need to have tokens to play, would you like to buy some tokens, or would you like to play? Would you like to play for free and have free tokens? Well, guess what? I said, well, human nature is I want to play for free. I don't want to put my credit card up. I want to play for free. It says, no problem. Well, guess what? Then they stopped me right there and they said, listen, we have got some of the biggest and largest ad agencies in the world clamoring to be on our app. Right? Why? Because the cost of customer acquisition in the world today is upward between $300 and $600 per customer acquisition. But guess what? They know for a fact that a lot of people spend a lot of time staring at their phones with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and they know for a fact that they can get a small bit of information in front of you fast, they can get more penetration for $1 or $2. So now what happens, right? Let's go back to the app. Now what happens? You click, I want to play for free. Then it pops up Starbucks, Target, who knows what the advertisement is going to be, wherever it is locally where you're at, right? And it says, okay, if you watch this quick 10 or 15 ad, then after the ad is done, it deposits one token into your player account, right? If you watch another ad, it deposits another token into your player account, up to a maximum of 5 tokens per day, per user, per app downloaded across the globe, right? So now you take those 5 tokens, now you can take them and you can go play against baseball, football, soccer, whatever it may be that you like to play against. They start making calls immediately, but more importantly, they started explaining to me. I was like, okay, explain me how the money's made here. They said, here's how it's made. Number one, the minute $1 is converted to a token, the token is deposited into the player account. 43% of that dollar then goes to the compensation plan, whether it comes from the player putting their credit card up or it's paid for by the advertisements. Now, wait a second. Did you just hear what I said? Advertisements. So guess what? We get paid every time a player dollar is deposited into a token, either it comes from players or it comes from advertisements. We get paid even when they play for free. This is unbelievable game changer right there alone. And then, guess what? Now you got these 5 tokens. They said, now what are you going to do? We're going to go play. So let's say I go make a couple calls and I make a couple mistakes. It's like, it's okay. I'm still gaining points and start playing. But then now I'm out of tokens. Now I'm out of tokens. Now the app's going to go, hey, I can see you're out of tokens. You have a couple more choices. You can actually add a couple of tokens through your credit card, or you can actually go out and there's another way to continue to play for free. And how you continue to play for free is like, hey, this is what we're going to do, right? Now what happens is now it's going to have a way for you to share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's going to have mechanisms in there. And what it does is now you go out there and you start sharing on Facebook. And how many guys, I know on this call, I know you've done it. I know for a fact, I can't hear you, but I can guarantee you've done it. You've shared Candy Crush or Angry Birds on Facebook. Hey, come play with me. Hey, come play with me. Well, guess what? If you go through your contacts and send them a text message and they download it, guess what? You get points. You get points that you can use in our recognition and reward system. And so now you're monetized. You're monetized to basically for rewards and recognition systems in our software, in our app, for sharing the app and getting people and inviting them to come play with you. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. And they said, yes. Now I want you to imagine this, right? They said, now what we want to do is, with this app, is we want to get enough people in the computer in pre-launch, so when we launch, that basically FanDuel and DraftKings can't see us coming. We're going to just launch and take the world by storm. And here's what they said. If we can put 50,000 people in the computer between now and September, and I said, well, why September? They said, well, hey, silly, September is when football starts. And the September 9th is when football starts. We're going to have this app ready to go by September, ready for football. Well, guess what? Between now and September, we put 50,000 people in there. And on app launch day, we then take those 50,000 people and we share it with 10 people, on Facebook or through instant messaging or whatever it is on your text message. They share the app with 10 people, right? That instantly goes from 50,000 to 500,000 customers. Now, let's stop right here. This is what got me, right? A network marketing company, right? Affiliate system, right? With 50,000 affiliates and 500,000 customers. I was like, I've never heard of it. It's not ever been done in history. This is a category creator. This is something that is amazing. It's never been done before. And I was like, you got to be kidding. She goes, yeah, but let's take it one step further. You have 50,000 associates and affiliates right here with our company. And then those apps, the 500,000 apps, they're going to be incentivized to share that app with 10 people or 3 people or so and so and so, right? Now, after a couple of days, now we have 5 million, 500,000 to share it with 10. That's 5 million downloads in the first couple of weeks or couple of months of the downloads. And that is huge. It's going to go global. At that time, you won't be able to stop it, right? And so what I'm telling you right now is, let me do a recap right here, and just so I can take your temperature and understand, and then what we'll do is open up for questions. But here's what happens. We have a couple things. Number one, let me explain to you about Candy Crush, okay? Let me explain to you how Candy Crush works, and then we'll go into some other things here real quick. Candy Crush has, if you look on the Play Store or on the app, iTunes, it has 500 million downloads. 500 million downloads. That's inconceivable. I don't even understand how that works. I just can't even hard wrap my mind around it, right? But then they said, after looking into the metrics and all the data, they said, listen, here's the thing. That's not even the best part. Candy Crush has 500 million downloads, but they have at any given point in a 24-hour period, 1.5 to 1.8 million people actually playing on that game and live in real time. I was like, you got to be kidding. Yep, and not only that, they're playing the game. They get them emotionally involved. They get them excited about getting to the next level or trying to get to the next point. And right when they get almost defeated, a screen pops up and says, hey, would you like to get this next level? For 99 cents, just click here and we'll help you get to the next level or give you some more men so you can conquer this level. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Do people actually do that? They said, yes. And 99 cents, yep, it's no big deal. 99 cents by itself, but guess what? If you take 99 cents times 1.8 million transactions, that's $1.8 million a day. $1.8 million a day. Times that times 30 days, well, guess what? That's over $30 million a month times 12 months. This app is bringing in, Candy Crush is bringing in over $1.5 billion a year globally to one simple game over 99 cents over a period of time. Now, mind you, I want you to go back to our metrics, our stuff, and our gameplay, right? We're going to allow people to watch commercials, 10 to 15-second commercials for Starbucks and other leading places, right? And they're going to download and let you watch a 15-second commercial and then give you and deposit into your player account $1. Now, mind you, we get 43% of every dollar that's downloaded into the player account. It goes directly into the compensation plan, and the higher up you go in the comp plan, the more of that you get take home. Now, tell me where you can go in a network marketing company where you have an app that's sharing like crazy. You have a company like EA Sports, that their creative director that left them to come over to work with us because of what we're doing here, and then have that with a global marketplace, and then have a compensation plan that's second to none that allows you to be paid off of advertising dollars, not just off of the player dollars, and we can get wealthy and share this app globally. And I want you to think about this. In the United States, there's only 98 million football fans, but there are 3.5 billion soccer fans globally. I want you to think about this. Even though exciting as football is, soccer, look at it from a business perspective, right? Not just exciting for player perspective of being a loyal fan to either the Patriots or the 49ers or whatever it may be. Look at it from a business perspective. Would you rather have a small percentage of 98 million fans, or would you rather have a small percentage of 3.5 billion fans globally? A small percentage of rugby, cricket, and baseball, and football, and hockey. Collectively, guys, this is a phenomenon that will never happen again. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have never said this. I don't say it very often, but I'm going to tell you right now, that this company, make no mistake, I don't know who you are on this phone, I don't know what your background is, but I'm telling you, if you've ever struggled to make money in network marketing, this is for you. If you've ever never made more than $1,000 in network marketing, this is for you. If you've never made more than $100 in network marketing, this is for you. And I'm going to explain to you why. So I'll give you an example. I was talking to a guy today on the phone, and this guy on the phone today, he was saying, listen, I own a chain of sports bars. And I said, wow, you are so lucky. He says, yeah. He says, you know what? I've been trying to rack my mind around because they come in my bar, they watch sports, they have a good time, they buy some beers, they buy some chips, they buy some salsa, they buy ribs, whatever like that. But when they go home, guess what? The money goes with them. He says, this way I can put posters all around my bars saying, listen, if you download the app, I'll buy you the first beer for free, right? If you download the app, and then guess what? Now all these players and all his bars are now his customers linked to him for life. And now guess what? When they go home, they can play baseball, football, whatever it may be from their app directly to him. And guess what? When they buy the bar, they're spending money in this bar. When they go home, they're spending money on the app, and it's all linked to him. He can have thousands and thousands of customers. And once they start getting the incentive to share on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, the leash, it's unleashed, unhinged, and it's unbelievable. It's off the charts. Truly a great opportunity for you guys on this phone call today. And I'm going to tell you right now, very few times in my life it gives me chills to be a part of something this vast, this growing, and it's going to reach every tiptoe of every country in this world. And I'm going to tell you, it's truly an amazing thing. So now here's the thing. I'm going to tell you how to get started on this call right now. Here's a call to action. If anything I've said to you intrigues you to look a little more, I can't give you all the details of the app. I can't give you all the details on how you get paid. All I can tell you is, please, do not leave any stone unturned. If you have a friend that's failed in network marketing, give them a call. If you have a friend that's made $1 million in network marketing, give them a call. If you have a friend that's struggling to get past $5,000 a month, give them a call. Give them a call, because let me tell you something. This app will reach them. It will reach them whether you do it or not. Trust me on that. This app will reach every one of your neighbors, your friends. Everybody will touch this app. I guarantee it. I've seen the screenshots. I've seen the SOWs. I've seen what's happening in this app. And I know I was on the phone with the programmers today. And it's unbelievable what they have planned for you. Okay? Unbelievable. And it's only the first rollout. And you know with any product, guess what? It only gets better as years go on. It's going to get better. Now, here's how it works. Call to action. You ready? Here it is. Number one, it costs $29 to get involved with the company and $9.99 a month for a technology fee that goes to the company, right? So here's the thing, right? But for right now, between now and September, we're waiving all those fees and allowing you a zero barrier of entry. So now, check this out. It costs nothing to get involved, and once we get the app, it costs nothing to share the app, but yet you get paid, right? But make no mistake, when this app goes live, we're going to charge your credit card for that $29.99. Our call to action is for you to get started today. Now, here's the thing. We don't have a place for you to app up right this very second. We don't have a place for you to get a code this very second because we're moving very fast. We're moving really quickly, and we haven't had a chance. We haven't had a chance to get all the programming things involved, but I didn't want to wait. I said, listen, I want to start sharing with some of my friends, and I couldn't wait. I'm just so excited about this. And so here's the thing. Our call to action is you guys need to get back to the person who put you on this call. Tell them you want to basically get started. Text message, tell them, hey, I want in. I want a code number as soon as they become available, and we'll do that. We'll get you a code number.